to lower the drawbridge of chat in Conversation Castle.
So, how did everyone like session?
I was waiting for it to be like 10 seconds of silence, and then I'm just like, or not, okay.
Honestly, the best part is the fact that B plans on changing the Orc City we're in into like a carnival.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that happen.
That was a really interesting bit to listen to, even out of context or out of character.
I honestly just kind of like the ridiculous image of orcs having clown makeup on.
I loved the mental visual when you're going over the barracks of just like swole orc bro dudes hitting up the gym. No.
Oh yeah, 100%. The barracks are like, it's a physical fitness area. So like straight up, there are like metal weights and like a bench press and shit like that. So it absolutely is what was a bro down showdown, and it you know, whether it's gonna be used anymore, that's up to the new chieftain. But since I'll go ahead and ask B, and B can just like type up
yes, and we will,
what their response is, just so we can get B going. So how did B feel about the session? Questions, comments, concerns? It was fun. I'm glad to hear it.
With an exclamation mark.
Yeah, were there particular parts you liked, particular parts you didn't like? I was trying to keep you involved, but that's the same situation happened of like other characters were awake and you weren't awake, and I'm like, all right, now I need to wake you up and get you involved in all of this, and then you immediately passed out, and I'm like, god damn it. I was 100% ready to go into the Shard of Arcanus and like describe what it was, but I am so ready for you to attempt to spread the clown cult. It is going to be ridiculous.
We need to have orcs in makeup. This is very important to me.
I just love the visual.
Cry.
I love the visual of just like an orc army charging a like stone-walled, cannon-loaded like fortress that is being manned by orcs with just fucking clown face paint on it.
There, you do war paint, but this, under our management, this war paint will be a little different.
Yep.
Urkur doesn't have cannons, actually.
Well, besides the cannon in the gift shop, or the
we're talking about Urkur, the other city.
Urkur,
Urkur is the only orc city actually defended by cannons. That's why it's more notable. And I'm honestly surprised we went as hard with the cannons as we did.
What do you mean?
I was not expecting a hand cannon.
Okay, so the hand cannon is a joke. It is legitimately a full-sized cannon that has the recoil lesson.
You got Sandra's mind spinning, though. Like, what if you could fire a cannon from your head?
I just imagine Nicholas when seeing the cannons like, I guess that's magic.
Like, level 18 rolls around and she starts trying to figure out how to get a hand cannon working.
A different character might have appreciated that more if I was playing someone else, but like I already have my fuck off hammer, so like, what's there more to want?
Well, we've never actually discussed the guns in Adia.
Trickery, dark brutality, play a great shape on the incoming. The incoming would be conquer. I am so ready.
I'm pretty sure even you know, even a whole ass cannon, I think Orvid would just be more interested in a bigger fuck off hammer.
I'm
Yep.
imagining Sandra with a hand cannon now. It's very funny.
So, I am defensive
Fago.
orc town will be very, very rebuilt to not be weak. But first, Fago and tents need to be set up. I am, like, legitimately. I think I first joked about the dark elixir, and then it like you actually are like, all right, we're going with the Fago, and I'm like, all right, yep, this is happening. Let's make some Fago.
The dark elixir.
The dark elixir, the potion of miracles. But it's Juggalo Orcs soon. I am so ready. This is what you put into the campaign, and we're running with it. But yeah, was there anything else that you wanted to mention before I let you go, B? All right. Well, if that is all, I do thank you for playing, and I hope you have a good rest of your night. No problem, anytime. So next to ask, Eric, how did you feel about the session? Questions, comments, concerns?
It was fine. I kind of forgot to read the book while walking to the Emporium, though. I was gonna bring something up like that, but oh well.
Are you talking about the book to learn Orcish?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a magic tome, or it's straight up a
Yeah, I know.
like a guide to.
It's like my Japanese lesson books.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially that. Yeah, I know that.
And so
try and read it just on the way, just a bit of it, so I get some better understanding.
yeah, you can look into it and get some of the common phrases, but it's something that you're not gonna read it in a day and know everything. It's very much this is going to take time and progress rolls. So but besides the book, anything you particularly liked, disliked, want more information on regarding the session?
I guess I could have looked more into the Orc library for like history books and whatnot, because I'm kind of curious.
What have I done?
You can already tell I like where this is going with the Orc Carnival.
I hate
that.
that.
Just makes me laugh.
Oh, by the way, one thing that I wanted to mention, when you brought up reading Zach's mind while he was asleep, I messaged B a bunch, like a handful of songs that I'm just like, which one of these songs is running through Zach's head right now? And we did decide on one, but we're saving that for a later date. But
I have my idea of what it is, but I won't say.
Yeah, it absolutely was, like, if you would have read his mind, I would have sent you that, and that would have been what you heard as opposed to any thought.
I guess that makes sense. The problem why I didn't do it is because I also knew that B has Zach has several thoughts in his head from different people. So I'd have to do a wisdom check on all four.
It's honestly just a party in there at that point.
Yeah, it would be a very big, massive saving throw for 3 different beings. From what I could tell. So I was just like, it's probably more dangerous than it's worth.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's not dangerous to read Zach's mind, because of all of the characters, Zach got a lot going on.
Yeah, that's why I went against it. I didn't want to wish my character would be evaporated from just reading freaking Zach's mind.
All right, so was there anything else that you wanted to bring up about the session?
Not particularly.
All right. Well, if that is all, you are free to go or stay and chat if you would, if you'd like. But once again, thank you for playing.
Yeah, because I got a funny thing coming up here.
So, Slick Mick, how did you feel about the session? Questions, comments, concerns?
I felt that it was fun. I felt that it was nice to basically officially catch all the characters up, with the ongoings in character.
That was a total spur of the moment thing too.
Yeah. That wasn't something that I planned. You guys just kind of dropped that, especially on poor Gally. Like,
poor Gally. We put her through so much.
She went through an existential crisis because, like,
there's so much to take in that just doesn't sound like it makes any sense.
She went through an existential crisis and got a metaphorical pat on the back for, like, having their arm shot off,
Like, it was the equivocal of, like, hey, Jesus and all of those wacky things that they did? Well, yeah, all of that is absolutely true. Also, Julius Caesar is alive again and leading a Roman army. Like, it is so off the wall wacky that, like, suddenly fucking Zeus's hammer is just found in current day. Weird. JFK is still alive. Yep. But it's like these absolutely wild things, like fucking, casually meeting a skinwalker type.
Why is he retaking Mildia though?
But, like, yeah, you literally dropped, like, hey, the Adventurers Guild exploded, you met a Lich, you're hanging out with the Lich, Zach has a Lich phylactery, the Lich is still out and about and doing shit, you let them go to their fucking lab, oh wait, they're trying to fucking stop a calamity from destroying the world, that's weird, there's a calamity that's gonna destroy the world? What? Also, that guy apparently has all knowledge and existence shoved in his brain and made a pact with the devil that blew up a town. Like, that's a lot. That is absolutely a lot.
Yeah.
Like, Gally thought that it was fucking a lot when Orvid is becoming the new leader of Granite Keep, and
that was big news for Orvid as well.
Yeah, and like, is that
the difference between Gally and Orvid is just Orvid doesn't think, he doesn't process, he just does.
He just watches.
It's been a busy couple of weeks.
Certainly, it was one of those things of, like, kind of putting it into perspective of how crazy the adventure had been for the adventuring party as a whole. Because, like, you've all been rolling with the punches, and Gally is an outside perspective looking in, and being like, oh, this is a massive flaming clusterfuck. That's a lot, and I am just a part of this now, and it is more than one would expect.
In Zach's Bizarre Adventure.
Yep. Was there anything else that you enjoyed about the session, Twisty? Anything that I could improve on, or?
I felt you did fine. I don't have any particular complaints because it was, one of those wacky wild RP sessions. I thought it went well. It's good to have them once in a while, instead of murder stab every day.
Yeah. I do just want to mention, originally, before we had gone through with role playing and everything, I actually was planning on having this be a beach session.
Wait, what?
Yep.
We were going to the beach?
Yep,
that's why the beach episode?
that is why the weather was getting warmer. I was gonna take you all to the river, and you were gonna relax at the beach, but I now have to save this for another session. I legitimately made this map for this session, and I'm yeah, I know, right?
I guess I never
I like
really
the way the
noticed it.
rocks blend in with the sand. That's very nice.
Yeah, I know, right? But I legitimately, I didn't feel like I had the town prepared enough to have like an entire session of being in town and doing stuff. And so I was planning on when you got closer to town, one of the NPCs would be like, "Hey, let's, go to the beach. There's a nice like beach bar." And you guys would have a beach session, and it would be a good time to just kind of like roleplay as characters, have some drinks, etc. And it being like a really like de-stressing roleplay episode, while giving the characters a little bit of breath while they're dealing with the clusterfuck that they're dealing with. But we ended up getting like way into roleplay, and the session kind of went its natural direction, and I didn't need to break out the beach because you guys got to town in like the last hour of session, and we
I guess
took
we
care
can
of everything.
save the beach for after some political bullshit with the orcs.
Yeah.
A whole war.
That will be the beach day. Yes.
Pretty funny that Zach is now essentially the king of this entire village.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
That's also already extremely entertaining. Just having this clown be essentially a clown prince.
Yep. It was absolutely random who would get the chieftain title. It just needed to be whoever killed that chimera, which none of you had any chance of knowing that.
No.
So
I was trying to save the original chieftain back, but
yeah. So that would have been an interesting turn of events, because like they were intended to die, but if you would have saved them, then a variety of other options would have been open. So fate is chaotic. Whoever can't roll with it has the joke on them. That is the truest thing, B.
I wonder how things will move forward.
Yeah.
The coming days. I might have to stop you from clownifying Granite Keep, but
that might be optional.
I feel
Optional.
contractually obligated to stop you from clownifying this town.
well,
Yeah,
too
I
bad
mean,
he runs
being
it.
the
The only way
reigning-
you cannot do that is to kill him.
Being the reigning ruler of your place, I think I don't have any right to tell you to not clownify it, but
Yeah, telling a king not to do it is just
So-
like, he's just gonna ignore you. It's his rule. He can do whatever he wants.
I am God.
I am so fucking ready for just upcoming shenanigans. They looked for help. This is what they get. They get clowns.
Load.
But yeah, it is. I legitimately, I'm just like, okay, how can I like, what's the next turn to keep this interesting? And throwing this into the mix, I think this has made it a lot more interesting, and I'm ready to see how everyone deals with.
Nothing in particular. Yeah, looking forward to developments in the future, and extraneous party members getting word back from the courier.
Yeah. By the way, to both Hunter and Twisty, if you are going to be sending letters for the courier, I would want just a written like write-up of what you are sending,
Joke's
basically.
on you. I already got it.
Yeah, I know you already have yours, but
Here, I'll send it right on over.
Cool. So, by the way, the okay.
Oh wait.
Do you happen to have the other letter as well? Like I've made accommodations for that other letter, but
let me dig.
yeah, I the intended effect of the letter I have planned for, but
so the mail
letter
did
itself,
get sent.
You'll find out. But the
Oh god, it was so long ago.
but yeah,
Why is
so
there a video of Callie here? Why is it the chibi?
I don't know, dude. So anyway, if there wasn't anything else, Twisty, you are free to go if you would like. And now we move to Hunter.
Hang on, I'm finding it.
Hanging on for a second.
I do have something very funny to say. It's very funny.
I am sure I will laugh.
Well, I got Tasha's Cauldron of Everything open, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, I found it. Holy shit.
Nice.
It's dated 7/6/2021. There it is.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, I got Tasha's Cauldron open. There are a lot of summon spells. They're all stupid.
That's right.
Here's the first one. Summon Aberration. A pickled tentacle and an eyeball in a platinum inlaid vial worth at least 400.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Summon Beast. Feather, tuft of fur, and a fishtail inside a gilded acorn worth at least 200. Summon Celestial. Golden reliquary worth at least 500. Summon Construct. An ornate stone and metal lockbox worth at least 400. Summon Elemental. Air. A pebble. This is the first one where I've seen one of the components is air. A pebble, ash, and water inside a gold inlaid vial worth at least 400.
It specifies air. I love that.
Yes.
Oh fuck, where I put my air?
Summon Fae, a gilded flower worth at least 300.
So,
Summon Fiend. This one is fucked. This is the most expensive one. Humanoid blood inside a ruby vial worth at least 600.
Nice.
And summon Shadow Spawn. Tears, non-specific tears inside a gem worth at least 300.
So essentially,
Delicious.
you have to make one of the characters cry and put that into a
also,
gem.
summon Undead. A gilded skull worth at least 300.
Wait,
I can only
pay for
imagine that is
yours?
what Zach is aiming for
Wait,
with
do I
his
have to do
gilded
mine? Hold on.
300 GP skull.
Yep.
No, I don't have to pay for mine. Mine's free. I
What
can
do
just
you
summon.
What?
I have Animate Dead, create an Undead Servant.
Okay, that is an animated spell. Hang on. That might not even be in Tasha.
It's not. It's in the base game.
Okay, well, that's... fucked.
I mean, I'm a basic cleric, so I'm gonna have the basic spells.
Well, that's fucked. Most of my abilities come out of, what is it, the other one? Xanathar. Other than that, yeah, good session. A lot of really good roleplay and lore drop and other various roles that I really, really liked, such as the cooking and whatnot. Also, I'm finally getting that Gilded Acorn, which has been 18 sessions coming, but it's finally happening.
Yeah, that You certainly made a deal giving up that. I'm so surprised you gave up that cleaver, honestly.
Was it just the cleaver or also the potions?
It was just the cleaver.
Okay. That. I don't get new spells until level 7.
Like, that cleaver, I was just gonna use that for cooking. I wasn't gonna use it in combat or anything.
Yeah,
because, like, what the fuck? I cook with that. I'm not gonna chop people up with it.
Yeah, that magic cleaver, I'll just tell you right now, he got the way better side of the bargain, and he's not, like, he's paying 100% out of pocket for that gilded acorn. Like, that cleaver, he's getting a good deal. Regardless,
I'd rather have an ability that I can use than something I'm just gonna use to cook every now and then. That gives me a +1 in cooking.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They already get a +3.
I've been in parties with players that will cut apples with their murder knife. Well, you know, the ones that they backstab as a rogue?
Okay, that's how you get AIDS.
Fantasy AIDS.
Yes, fantasy AIDS.
Apple. Oh, okay.
There is AIDS in this world, canon.
Dire AIDS.
Dire AIDS. It's called dire AIDS, canon.
Sword, then you're probably not gonna get it.
Dropping a lot of lore this week.
It's like regular AIDS, but dire.
Yeah, I also talked more about guns this week, which not a lot of talk about where the current technological state of firearms is in the world of Relinda.
All I will say is, it was pretty nice to drop a bunch of orc lore and mess around with, like, you put me in an interesting situation where it's like, here are orcs, but they're not standard orc. Work with, you know, what this is. And I'm like, okay, how do I keep this plot moving while also working with this twist on the orcs? And so I decided to put up the dichotomy of what orcs originally are versus what orcs became. And
now there's infighting.
Kind of, yes. And it's one of those things of, there are 2 military towns.
Yes. And
all of the other towns, like, sure, they have town guards and shit, but all of them work together. So if they ever needed a military for anything, they would just look to Urkror. Well, Urkror is now the attacker. And the other cities are like, right, well, fuck? And I legitimately, like, it's happened in history where generals and their armies just turned inwards and went, hey, this is our situation now, so fuck the current leaders. And, like, I mean, if this, like, adventure arc goes awry and Urkror wins, they're not going to send all the orcs back into the technological Stone Age. That's not a thing that's going to happen. They have so much infrastructure and built up. So much is established now.
It's good, yeah. I like the orcs, like, the way that they've been written in this world. I like them. I like the way you're handling it as well. It's creative. I like it.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep, like, some of the core orcishness while also, you know, trying to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're not gonna live and hide tents when they can actually build a house. Like, but at the same time, you know, if they're building a house, what would that style look like? And since they have been, you know, their houses originally were made of hides and bones, so it was the transition was kind of weird. So they kept the stylization, and that is why, yeah, that's why I was describing all of that, particularly because, like, if you walk into, like, the Elven lands or the human territory or a dwarvish inn, like their buildings have that like kind of set design, and everyone, if you hear about a dwarvish inn, there's a tavern, lots of drunken dwarves, rooms to pass out in, and the rooms are fairly standard, though, probably a lot of rectangular furniture. Well, with the orcs, it's very, spiked, jagged, and primal. It has a primal feel as opposed to like, human and elf are kind of like rustic and naturey. Yeah. This is, they legitimately, use the hair and skulls of animals to make, nice baubles, and it's fun to mess around with. That is kind of what I'm getting at. And the I'm looking at this and being like, okay, here are the things that they have. Here are the things that they probably would have, and like the things that they need and things they want to prevent. So like Boudverdo's, like legitimately in the lore that for the world, Boudverdo's is the military city to the west that is supposed to prevent invasions from coming in, specifically from the west. And the danger is coming from the east, and
just
it's
move all the cannons
standing
to the
armor.
other side.
The cannons are already there. Like, the fact that you saw the cannons is like, whoa, but I kind of didn't, because I kind of wanted to keep things shuffling along. Mm-hmm. I didn't emphasize how many cannons there were, because there are a good amount of cannons. That's all I'm gonna say.
We love guns.
Yeah, so once again, kind of, I said it during the session, I'll say it again, you don't want to be on the receiving end of a cannon. So
that true factor be used even in real life.
Yeah, pro gamer tip: don't stand in front of a cannon that's being fired. But yeah, the
thing in a doctor's office. Here's how you get cannonball wounds. Yep. Number 1, don't stand directly in front of a cannon.
Yep.
How true that is.
But yeah, I mean, once again, kind of going with the Chekhov's gun thing, the Shard of Arcanus, that's just a thing that I wanted to like throw out there as a potential quest hook.
I'm interested.
This weird shard, a lost to time, that has a bunch of weird rumors surrounding it, and
I bet it is.
Where do you think it is?
I bet it's like smack dab dead center of the fractured skies.
You can certainly assume.
We would need an airship to get there.
You know how airships go.
Oh yes. Yeah, there is still some reveals in the game that I'm just like rubbing my GM hands together, going, "Oh boy, I can't wait for this." Honestly, also a thing that I forgot to mention is this isn't just an orc town. There are. It's needless to say there are more than just orcs within this town. And there is a prominent population of goblins here as well. But
that makes sense. The Goblin Kingdom isn't too far.
Yeah, it's not going to be super unheard of like a dwarf being in this town and like legitimately just living in the town. And so the population is definitely a mixed population, and it's just a high population of orcs, obviously, decent population of goblins as well, and a variety of other races mixed in. So you're probably gonna find kobold, dwarf, elf, lizard folk, there might be a tabaxi running around. You can't really be sure, but of the mainstays, you're probably gonna see a lot of orcs. So, but I honestly think that this is just really fun to be like, okay, here's this really nice thing, play with it, and just toss it into your court. Like, I gave you an entire fucking town, and you get to customize the rooms in that manner. There are enough apartments for everyone, and legitimately, I'm anticipating the party to bunk down here for a few days, so everyone has their own room. All of your meals are going to be cooked for you. There is no cost of living currently, and you get to essentially take care of whatever you want to take care of. And it's where do you want to go from here type situation.
I mean, if you want, we could make the next episode the beach episode, since we're really right near the river.
I mean, if you want to say fuck it and go to the beach, I cannot stop you.
We could do that. We could potentially
I feel like there's
save
more
it for a
pressing
cooldown.
issues right now, but once we're done with those, definitely beach episode.
Don't think we'll don't think we'll get the war in the bag in a week, but who knows?
Well, no.
No.
It's not going to be like that one game on the gaming channel where we go to war one episode and we're done with it the next.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Looking
a fair
at you,
amount of
Infinite
games.
Space. Wars take longer than this.
There are several games that do that bit because the commander's just that good.
Yep. But
that episode hasn't even aired yet. God, I think that's still on part 1. Anyway.
Lol. Well, it sounded like everyone really enjoyed the session, which I'm very glad about. Zach is busy. If you guys want, depending on how we want to go about this, you can definitely make a list of things you want to do in the town, and if we get downtime, which is very likely we're going to get a lot of downtime, we can do various different tasks, such as, learning Orcish, decorating certain rooms, if you want to set up various things in town or research into things.
Sandra's gonna probably try to find a lead on her mom.
You can certainly try on that one.
That's all she's been doing is trying.
Yep. The Gilded Acorn's gonna get delivered to you in 2 days. The skull is, a work in progress as well. That's gonna show up. They've sent out couriers with your letters, and it's very much a.
So that did happen.
Well, the couriers this session, yeah, they're not gonna tell you no. You are guests of the chieftain. It's not
I thought
hard.
They were
to
still trying to track down another courier.
Oh, it's not hard to get a second courier. No, it's easy enough. They left to go get the second courier, yes, but I'm anticipating you give me the letters, and during the next session be like, all right, yeah, we send the letters with the couriers, and that's the end of it. It's like a single line of, we do this, okay, done, letters sent. You don't have to go through an arduous process of sending a letter. Yeah, I'm very glad you enjoyed the session. I had fun running it. I always love when there's like a downtime RP bit, and I'm able to kind of play around as a character to interact with the party, because I'm able to, as the GM, fish certain things out, and give. Not only am I able to drop a lot of lore, but I can fish lore out of characters essentially, and we can kind of bring more life to the scene, the game, etc. And it just kind of makes the game better for it. It's a pseudo interacting with the world while also interacting with each other in a safe place to do that and get more information and allow a more natural form of storytelling, as opposed to when I needed to drop all the orc lore, like I did that as an out of character thing where I just kind of explained everything. But with Galley, she kind of she continued going over. So she dropped a handful of information bits that I'm sure you have a little bit more perspective of things that are going on. But I honestly, Galley, good old Galley, she like Dothric and Galley are fun companions of Orbids that I'm glad that there's dwarves in the group now.
Dear friends of his, that he's come to know from past and present.
Yep.
You can probably guess who's who.
But yeah, if that should be all for everyone. If you have any additional questions, comments, or concerns you want to throw at me, you certainly may. Guns.
Guns.
I mean,
Probably like blunderbusses.
usually I'm opposed to guns, but at the same
The
time,
technological state of guns in Rolinda is like the best you're gonna find is a tube that shoots a ball. If you're looking for something handheld,
Yeah.
they haven't really
Like-
figured out how to shrink down the technology of a cannon into something that works in your hand yet.
it's if I do recall, one of the first uses of gunpowder was actually the Hwacha.
Yeah, something like
which
that.
was legitimately like a bunch of fucking firework arrows that got launched into the air.
Yes.
So yes, very crude, probably gonna explode in your hands. Depending on if you go to like a very technological place, they're probably researching into better methods. But as of right now, you put a bunch of gunpowder in a big old tube and drop a ball in there and launch that at your enemies. Not super hard to make a cannon that can do that. So, handheld shit, on the other hand, bit harder.
Yeah,
So-
Sandra's gonna start thinking about one of those. But something a little more, like, manageable.
Yeah, that would be a long-term research
It would
project.
be a very
so-
long-term goal of hers.
Dang it, Jenny.
But yeah,
Did they not go by that? I don't. I'm paying attention.
So was the hand cannon literally just a cannon that they took off the stand?
oh no, it was still on the stand.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a slightly smaller sized cannon, but it's still like a fucking, I don't know how heavy cannons are.
I don't know. I
How-
would imagine you'd be able to handle something like, the size of a swivel gun or something like that.
And
It-
imagine
it-
someone's able to pick up just a cannon, though.
Like it's probably small enough where it wouldn't be handling grape shot, but it is like I put it there as a pseudo joke of like, hey, it's a hand cannon, and it's literally a full-sized cannon that you could like a Goliath could barbarian Goliath, they would be able to pick up and hold that shit and actually fire it. Not gonna be accurate, but it's one of those, it can be done as opposed to this is a full-sized fucking cannon that it has tons of blowback. It cannot be done. You cannot physically do that. This is under the correct situation with a strong enough individual. That hand cannon can be held in the hands and shot. And that was kind of the gag of it. It's fucking not. None of you can use that shit.
At most, I think Orvid is the only one that technically.
Oh no, he's like half and half dex strength.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, it's safe to say that cannon is just gonna stay there.
It's not
I
gonna be
didn't.
a hand cannon.
One of my goals with Orvid is to make him more swole.
Unless I think the three of us could roll it.
Maybe,
Who has
like
dexterity here?
I guess you could just put it on wheels basically and make it just a lighter cannon.
Yeah, that's kind of that's like 100%. You could have bought a fucking cannon, but it would be so impractical.
Out of
like
morbid curiosity. Again,
Yeah.
with this thing. There's a lot of morbid curiosity going on. How much was it?
how much?
Yeah.
Well, he was proposing to trade it for the Deck of Illusions, but I doubt that it was a fair trade.
Oh no, absolutely not. The Deck of Illusions, if I do recall, is like rare plus. Especially the mostly completed set. That was a. I want to say the fucking hand cannon is like a +1 or 2 level enchantment, which is a more. I think it's classified as like an uncommon magic item.
So like 200 gold.
No, it's probably like I would guesstimate somewhere between 1.5 to 4K.
Okay.
You're not fucking around with no chump change here. That shit's expensive. The reason it's still sitting in that shop, besides the impractical nature, is because no one can afford that shit.
See, what I'm picturing is we outfit it with like wagon wheels and roll it around.
Oh, it already has wheels.
It's just a lighter cannon.
Yeah, it is legitimately a cannon that can be used if you hold it in your hands, but right now it is legitimately a maneuverable cannon that you would use in war. It is a smaller version of the cannons that are on the walls, and it can, you pick it up, you can wheel it around. With enough people, you could probably drop it onto a cart
and then you
take
say,
it with you.
what about this shirt?
I'm so curious.
Oh my God.
I'm just picturing a fucking t-shirt that has the name of the magic shop on it.
So,
this isn't magical at all. This is just my branded t-shirt.
It shows it just shows the building's logo pop up on the
it's
t-shirt.
just his logo.
Yeah, that's how it changes. It changes to show the logo.
So, that shirt was a ripoff of the sleeves of many garments. But it was just the shirt of the sleeves of many garments, because the sleeves of many garments you can change to whatever outfit you would like, and it'd be the full outfit. This shirt, it was like that, but would only do the shirt.
Yeah, I figured that was. It still didn't sound like something he wanted.
It's so okay of a magic item. You could have a nice shirt, but it's honestly, that fucking orc. There are a handful of orcs that I have named that I tried to have, a good amount of traditional orcish names, like Shaman Urkal and Rajal and Torin. Which, for those wondering how to spell Rajal, it is RI'Jaal.
I got maybe 20% of that right in my notes.
Yeah. So Rajal and Torin they're one of those like optional, if you want them to be followers / companions, you definitely can. They're kind of their point of existence was to get the party from the dungeon to the town to start this quest line. And now they just kind of, they live here, and so you can kind of just do whatever you want with them. If you want to just say fuck it and let them do whatever they want, sure, they meld into the background. If you want to fucking take them on a cross-continent journey and have them help you save the world, sure, let's fucking
say
go.
Goodbye to your wives and children. We're going on a road trip.
Tell Tiny Tim you ain't coming home for Christmas dinner.
I'm anticipating like fucking end campaign where you're fighting a god. Just fucking Rajal and Torin look at each other, and Torin just fucking, with a really sad look in his eyes, just shakes his head as he still doesn't understand the situation as no one speaks Orcish.
I miss my kids. I miss them a lot.
I miss him.
Why the fuck are we here fighting a god? I just want to be home. I'm 2 days away from retirement.
You were 2 days away from retirement.
Yup.
Under new management.
Yup. But yeah, I like the situation that I put everyone in, where you are like you have so many like quest hooks and directions you can go, and at the same time you have so much that you can do right now. Like you have such a capacity to do a lot while also having a lot on your plate. Like there's just a lot going on, and I put you in a spot where originally when you were in the dungeon, you're just in the fucking dungeon. Like your goal was to get out and get loot. Now it's way more complex than that, and I am interested to see what direction everyone is going to go. But with that, it is 10:30 and I gotta work in the morning. So I'm gonna let everyone go. And once again, I thank everyone for playing. I thank all the watchers for watching. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your night.
Okay, I'll try.
Alright, see you guys next week.
Yeah.
We are doing next week, right?
I'm fairly certain.
Okay.
Thursday?
We'll find out.
No, not Thursday. I gotta clear that at work. Gotta say, I need my day off to be Thursday instead of Tuesday.
Cool.
So that'll take a little bit.
Okay.
I gotta get in their face.
Yeah. Anyway, later, peeps.
Bye-bye.